Hello, good afternoon. It's afternoon.
Yes.
It is afternoon. Good afternoon.
No.
Live from the UK. And as you can hear, live from Madrid. The boys have been on the plane early. They've been on the shot about 11.
London
Oh, this is
forever.
going to be a challenge. Enjoy the show.
No, just get on with it.
Welcome to another podcast by Guns and Yellow Ribbons. This is your Arsenal podcast by Arsenal fans for Arsenal fans. Enjoy the show.
Andrew, brace yourself. This is definitely going to be interesting.
We sing now and then. We often score one, but we seldom score 10. We beat them at home and we beat them away. We're off to Munich, don't get in our way. We are the Dadburton Army. We sing now and then. We can't sing about
The Dadburton Army. The Dadburton Army as...
We can't sing about Munich because Fergus ain't going.
No, I'm not going. I'll be in Germany.
He's got a pretend wedding to go to.
Easy. Just been doing some wedding planning actually today.
Boring, Fergus.
Boys, listen. I don't know how many people are even going to watch us today, but it'll be.
Yeah, thought we lost him.
I am here still.
Oh, shame. Yeah, we were just about to take over.
You can if you want. Andrew, welcome to the show, mate. How are you?
I'm enjoying this. I'm meant to be sort of working hard, but now I'm watching these two in Madrid, being a bit jealous, thinking should have gone.
You couldn't come, son. You couldn't keep up, son. You wouldn't be able to handle it.
That wouldn't be a problem. We'd be fine with that, Trev.
You'd be like Fergus backing off.
Shout out to
the army, the royal fucking standbacks.
Shout out to Mark, who's on the train to Madrid as we speak. So he will catch up with you guys in Major Square. Enjoy your beers, boys. I have got a beer here as well, so I will join in with you.
Oh,
listen,
we didn't ask.
Before we do the Madrid
for a way before we do.
Before we do the Madrid show, let's have a look back very briefly, because I don't think I can control you two, at the Arsenal-Brentford game. Andrew, Dan, we were at the game. Trevor, being a lightweight, wasn't at the game, but let's dig him out.
Lightweight. Him that never comes to Europe is calling me a lightweight for missing one game.
Whose idea is this?
It might just have to be us two. It might just have to be us two. We'll bring him back in a minute.
They'll be in a bar in a minute, knocking shots back.
Well, they're already in a bar doing shots. Look, I just talk to me, Andrew, about the atmosphere around the Brentford game, the build up to the Brentford game, and everything else. I'll bring the boys back in if they're going to behave themselves.
Well, we were in the pub, weren't we? We were just kind of like, we were just saying, wasn't it? It was quite quiet around everywhere. Then it started to build up a little bit. So, I didn't think it was going to be too bad at the start when it's we got going a bit of North London forever, but it just kind of filtered out a little bit. But there was phases where it was all right.
Boring, mate. Dan, settle along. Oh.
Right, okay. If you want
fucking Gary Neville on it, you know what I mean.
If you want to come back in 15 minutes, that's fine. So listen, let's.
Oh God!
Honestly, if anybody doesn't know, I'm frustrated now, as you can hear. But, if anybody didn't know, the boys have been in Madrid. Trevor was in Stansted last night, drinking with Andre, and then early drinking in Stansted Airport, on to shots and so on. Hente's just gone. It didn't start too well, did it? No, it came sponsored by that.
Oh, we're back, look.
Yeah, you are back.
Oh, you want us now, dear? The podcast is boring without us, is it? All right, mate.
We will have you if you want to have a conversation.
Can't live long without us, boy.
No, exactly.
Listen. Do you want to have a conversation?
Not with you. Trev, how you doing, mate?
I'm all right, mate. Yeah.
What's your plans for this trip?
Well, I think I'm going to go and watch football tomorrow. then I'm going to Munich for the final when we win, after Paris, of course.
Oh, are you coming, Fergus? Oh no, of course you're not.
No,
I'll be in Germany. I'll be there in spirit. Matthew D'Souza says, broke away from listening to the Arscast. Why? No, it is a great podcast, actually. This better be good. So, guys, let's make it good. Briefly, let's go through the Brentford score, the Brentford game. So if we look at Arsenal, Brentford. Yeah, well, shut up then. Shut up then for a second. Let's look at the lineups. The lineups, first of all, that we had was probably the best we could do. I'll ask you, Dan, about this lineup once you get your breath back after that burp. Raya, Partey, Saliba, Kivior.
Go back and watch it live. It was nothing to do with me.
Tierney, Jorginho, Zinchenko, Rice, Nwaneri, Martinelli, and Trossard. No Ben White on the bench, and that was a big concern to me and you when we were doing our chat before the game.
Arsenal 2, Real Madrid 0.
Yes, we know that, but no Ben White on the bench at the weekend. Is Ben White going to be available midweek as well? We don't know.
Berg, listen, I thought, right, Arteta went bang on with the team, but if I'm honest, I thought he made a massive mess with the substitutions. I thought he made a massive mess with it. We were on top of the game, winning the game with our second team. There was no need to introduce them players after an hour. We were doing all right, you know, and we end up finishing the game with 10 men and giving a goal away. I call it as it is, and I'm never bad to Arsenal, but I thought Arteta made a mess of the substitutions, Ferg.
To be honest, that was one of the topics I had, and we'll jump around the game. It's probably easier. A triple substitution just after we went 1-0 up when Tierney, Nwaneri, and Zinchenko were taken off for Miles Lewis-Skelly, Saka, and Odegaard. There was probably the biggest noise bar than North London Forever anthem. Andrew, what did you make of the substitutions? Did you think, like what Trevor said there, did you think it was necessary to risk players like that? Because I think all of us were sitting there just going, like when Partey went down earlier on in the game, we're all just worried about an injury.
No, definitely. I think that's what we're all making sure they all got through the 11 altogether, wasn't it, really? And just come out of it unscathed. Something's coming in. Now, look, come on, but what are you going to say?
No, just carry on.
We're listening to you, Andrew.
I think
we're listening to you, mate. We like listening to people talking shit. Carry on.
I think you're right. I think when Partey went down, it was that point of thinking, we've got an injury, especially sort of, and then some of the subs have just odd. I agree with Trev. I think literally we were on top. We didn't need to sort of make those changes really to do it. It's hard to keep going in it with these going on.
Just keep going, Andrew. Just ignore them for a minute.
But yeah, no, it's.
I've muted us to try and help you out, mate.
No, I know you have, but he needs to just carry on.
Fergus, listen, before you carry on, Fergus, are you okay, mate? You seem a little bit upset.
No, I'm just a little bit stressed. I might have to have a scotch.
Right, we'll go on mute.
This is going to be hard work, isn't it?
just look, listen. The one and only time I'm going to say, just carry on and just talk. They're going to do this.
Just go.
You up.
No, I just thought it was, I understand why he's done it, obviously with the game on Wednesday night, you've got to get some minutes in the legs to keep everyone going, to keep everyone fresh. But did we need to? No, not really. Did we drop 2 points? Yeah, we did. We should have beaten him, and we should have had it all done and wrapped up.
Dan, the early on, about 20 minutes in, Kieran Tierney scored a goal that was deemed offside. It was clearly offside, as VAR demonstrated on there, but it was more about the experience, how you felt in stadium about the VAR. How did you find that the VAR experience, the semi-automated VAR experience was? Did you find it quicker? Did you find it, an easier? Or did you find it more interactive with us in the stadium?
It's a bit quicker, and to be honest, some of the offside decisions and how long they've taken have been horrendous this season. So it's nice for it to be a bit quicker.
Agree.
But there's still a lack of disclosure to the fans because they don't really tell you in the ground still what's going on.
Yeah.
And it's great to be quicker. We need it to be quicker, but I would like more information for fans, and they can use the big screens a lot better than what they do. I don't see a reason why anyone at home should be seeing something that we can't see in the ground. So for me, that's the step they need to make.
Agree.
It didn't go very long, did it?
There's no reason why they can't put the full commentary on the big screen. The only reason they don't is because they're scared, because they're worried about their They're worried about their competence to do the job. If they were really confident about the job they do, like rugby referees, I'm not making a comparison between what we see on the screens, but I am making a comparison between what we hear. Rugby referees are very confident in what they say. They know they're on the right lines and they're confident.
And do you
Football
think that
referees won't dare put the sound out there? They won't dare put the sound out there because they know they're not competent in some ways.
Do you think VAR and the way it's been rolled out over the last 3 or 4 years has gradually undermined the referees, Trev, and undermined their confidence in officiating?
Ferg, you can't undermine useless. You can't undermine useless.
This is very true.
And that's a massive word, but come on. We've all seen what they've done, not just against the Arsenal, against every team in the league, apart from Liverpool. We know what they're like. You can't undermine that. You can only try and improve it.
I think Trev's got a really good point because, to be honest, for once, I know, it's the beer talking, mate.
Yeah.
But if you look at the stats of how many correct decisions they've now got compared to what they did pre-VAR, the number of correct decisions, I think, are in the 90-odd percentile. So the VAR is working, but it's showing the incompetence of referees, I think, a bit more than what it was before. Because before, you could put it down to human error. Now, there's no reason for just human error. You've got technology to tell you what is a right and wrong decision. And it shows that they are not able to use it. Now, I know football is a much faster game than rugby, but you look at rugby in the way that the aura around the referees, the respect that they have from the players, the way they use the screen and talk to the crowd, they're very, very different to what the Premier League referees are at the minute. And I think you'd see a different crowd reaction if you had better quality referees in the Premier League, like you did in rugby. I think it's a bit like any fan with authority, the way they react to it. When you've got that competence over a number of years and you see them come to some form of conclusion that you think makes sense, you can sort of go with it. Whereas at the minute, I'm watching the referees and thinking, I don't know how you're coming to that decision.
Yeah.
Nothing's out there, nothing's shared with the fans. They don't know what's going on, and at the minute, like the referees are not likable. So I don't think anyone's going to adhere to them like they do the rugby referees.
I think if they were open and honest, even if they were wrong, then we'd probably have a bit more time for them, but they're not open. What they do is, and what really is annoying is, they don't admit their mistakes. Instead of admitting their mistakes, they cover their mistakes. And we all know they've made a mistake. We're not stupid. And that really makes us dislike them some more. So, for me, get them on the big screen. Let's hear what they're saying at the time. If they've made a mistake, then we might understand a bit afterwards, But not at the moment. They're just like hiding it. They're trying to hide the fact that they're not competent. And Ferg, I'm really glad you've taken that free off of those episodes.
Yeah, well, you were talking about pointing out people's mistakes. I just noted my own mistake, which is typical. 3,341 episodes. It's 341 episodes. Listen,
I'll be dead before we get there, Ferg. I'll be gone, me, mate.
Oh, please don't say that.
You'll be reading my epitaph.
Listen, there's a couple of other points I want to talk about in the Brentford game, and then I want to get and talk about how it is out in Madrid and what your plans are and so on.
I think Fergus has calmed down now. He's settled
because you guys have calmed down.
It's good
the next
to have
one,
you back, Fergus.
Yeah.
The
next one is
a nice Fergus.
No.
Christian Norgard is lucky.
Like red-faced Fergus. I don't like red-faced Fergus.
Christian Norgard is very lucky not to have a red card for this tackle. Now, this is the tackle I saw on Match of the Day, which was from behind. He scissors Martinelli, but when you see it from this angle, I know you do. Happy for late. Oh my god!
Well, that's not a vision you want, is it? Trevor Dan scissoring.
But look at the angle. Look at the angle from the front, Trevor. The angle from the front is far nastier than the angle from the back.
Drop me out. Oh god, drop me out. You're a bad man, Trevor. You're a bad man.
Dan, do you want to?
Sorry, I'm leaking, folks.
Dan, do you want to talk about this tackle and how Christian Norgard got away without not getting a red card?
Fergus, I'm not going to lie, mate. I might lack a little bit of composure at the minute after that comment.
You don't say.
Try and bring it in. Oh, Trevor, you are a bad man. Listen, leave it or not, I had a very serious comment to make about that tackle at that point. And
Please make
and I
it.
just
Please make it.
I don't think I can. I don't think I can
All
follow
right,
that on.
Andrew, what's your thoughts
end it
then?
now.
That's a red
I
card.
don't think
all
it
day,
was a
not
red,
bad.
Ferg.
It's a
I
strong
You
didn't
didn't?
think it was a red.
Because an orange card is an orange card.
I don't think it was a red. I thought it was a really odd, dodgy tackle, but
Never.
looking at it, I thought it was a yellow, and I thought the ref got the right decision by giving him a yellow. Honestly,
got
I'm
the-
not winding you up now.
Who
Honestly,
got the background saying orange card? Is that Ryan?
I'm struggling to focus at the minute because I've got
Ryan, come in onto camera, Ryan. Ryan, come in onto camera. Well, why don't you see it? This is Ryan, one of our mates, and he's out in Madrid as well. Why did you not see it? Yeah, strong word. But why do you not see it as a red card? Arteta thought it was a red card. Most people on Match of the Day and other pundits thought it was really, really harsh. He went in with intent, and it's a nasty tackle. He's lost control of his feet. Look at there. Both feet are off the ground when he's scissoring.
I'm being serious here. Ferg. I won't go to call Trev this time. No, I think screenshots of pictures can show a different story, and we can see that by the Lewis Skelly red card. Some people from Lewis Skelly red card said it's a red card based on a screenshot of one still of a picture, and I think you can say the same about that. It's a strong. Yeah. You're never getting a red card for that. If we get a red card against us, we're going to say referees are against us all day long. That's a strong. I think if it's an orange card, it's a strong. It's an orange card in my opinion.
Disagree. Listen,
Do you think it was red, Dean?
I do. I'll tell you what.
Red card. Football's gone.
There's two parts to this, lads, right?
You're wrong.
No,
Football's gone.
by the letter of the law, I will agree it's not a red card, right? But what I'm saying is, I think the law is wrong because ultimately, that is a dangerous tackle that could seriously injure a player. Of course,
Because of the intent.
He's got so high.
Listen,
I'm going to try and avoid the word scissoring, but
no. But on that point, Trevor, you appreciate Demsek's opinion. You think he understands football very, very well. And on his status here, he said it was only a yellow because it was lack of grinding. Sorry,
no feet on the floor.
Feet in the air.
Oh, God.
Will on YouTube comes along and says there wasn't a purple card around. So this has gone wrong. Right. So the next sort of thing to talk about is the goal that we scored. Now, Trevor, I know you were watching from home and you sent a message on the WhatsApp group and you went, "Well done, Declan Rice, David Raya, and Thomas Partey. What a goal!" And it was a goal that was released by Raya to Declan Rice, who ran 70 yards up the pitch, and Partey, great shot.
Mate, it was like Raya saw Rice early, and then Rice did what he does best, charged length of the field. And I don't know if you saw it, but just before he passes it, about 3 yards before he passes it, Rice just moves left a bit. Defenders move across a bit. Then he slips it right to Partey, who he does that side foot finish. Partey, it's his trademark finish, side foot finish. When we were halfway out the pitch, I said to my missus, Donna, I said, "This is a goal here. This is a goal," because Rice would never let us down in that position, and it proved to be right. It was a wonderful goal. It was as good, and absolutely different goals, but it was good as what we saw against Madrid. It really was.
Andrew, talk to me about that particular goal and talk to me about Rice's performance, because for me, Rice ran his legs off and he was substituted about the 75th minute, I think. But he ran his legs off and he bossed that game. Dan and I talked about it when we're in the stands, that people say he's a 6, but he demonstrated very much. He played that box 8 role, didn't he?
Yeah, he needs to be in the 8, doesn't he? He's got, I mean, that's the benefit of him playing on the 8 position. But we noticed him recently now is he did it against Madrid all game long. He's picking the ball up and he's sprinting with that ball as soon as he gets his head up, and he's gone and he's getting us up the field so much quicker than anybody else is. But so that it's the way that when he gets the 18-yard box, he just allows Partey just to get things and get settled and plays the ball across. It's a cracking finish and great team goal, but brilliant from Raya just to have the to throw it out to him and have that optimism to get us up.
And Dan, what about Partey sprint to come up alongside Rice to be the receiver and score the goal?
I thought he received it really well.
Again, hang on. Let me composure, Dan. I actually thought, by the way, for a player that gets so much criticism at right back, he had a decent performance, and that is a proper right back's run to overlap and get forward. And it's not something you would normally see from Partey when he's sitting in the sixth role, and it shows he's got more to his game. And by the way, I did not expect that finish from him in that position either. So,
Didn't you?
no,
I couldn't see him missing, to be honest.
I just thought I'd see him put it across goal, and I thought it was a very good run, a very good finish. Rice's ball carrying was unbelievable, and just to echo Andrew, I think it's very clear that Rice is an 8 and not a 6. I think you put him at 6 and you waste his talent.
Do you know what? It's really interesting, though, Dan, because I think Partey at right back, okay, I mean, I don't think he gets stick from the fans because they know he's helping the side out. But the fans say they know he's not a right back because we know he's better elsewhere. And I think it's really important that we say that the fans don't get on Partey's back when he's playing right back.
I think some of them do, mate.
Yeah, well, that's wrong that they do because he's doing
I've
Arsenal,
witnessed. I've not witnessed anybody getting his back. I've witnessed people come along and go, "Oh, I'd rather he didn't play there." Now that's we still haven't. I don't think we've won a game ever with Partey playing right back. I think we've lost more than we've won. Well, we've not won any. I don't think with Rice with Partey at right back. But listen, he, as you said, he played really, really well.
But again, are you going to blame that on Partey or the fact that we've made 5 or 6 other changes in that squad?
Oh, no, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, Dan. It's not just down to one player.
He played right back at Atletico and did very, very well there, by the way. In a very sturdy and rigid back four. Yeah, he used to play right back for Atletico all the time. When his hair was longer and he had these little braids and he used to play right back, he was very, very good.
That was Calafiore, you idiot. No, it wasn't.
but Dan, you know what it is. The times that we've called to play Partey and right back are times when the defense are depleted. If he's playing right back as a proper right back or whatever with a strong defense beside him, he's only going to play to his strength. But if he's actually covering for other people and there's holes in other areas in the team, it is going to show the deficits in the overall team and highlight it maybe on him because he's in a position he's not being played in normally. 61 minutes in 74 minutes in.
On so quickly, mate. We're not done yet.
You can. I thought we were done on that. I just want to get on to the Madrid stuff, if I'm honest.
So do I. But my point on that is, right, people criticise Partey, and the criticism they throw at him is that he switches off. But he switches off at times, whatever position he plays in, sometimes defensively. And you've seen him play as a 6, and when he drops into the box for a cross, sometimes he steps up very quickly and doesn't actually look at the line of the defence. And he does that from right back or he does that from holding midfield. But people want to criticise when he does it as a right back and not when he does it as a 6.
Dan, does he switch off or does he look like he switches off? Because he's such a laid-back player, you know. He covers so much ground that you never think he's going to... Like when he scores
he does. He does have a very languid stature, doesn't he?
To do box-to-box that quickly.
The one, mate, that comes to mind is the Aston Villa one, and you look at the defensive line and the way he stepped out, he should have... If you're a defensive coach, you're saying to him, stay in line, don't...
Yeah, I get that. Is that...
And he came out too much. He's just not quite switched on.
Is that the sign of a player? I know you said about Atletico, but this is definitely Arsenal. Is that the sign of a player that's not used to playing right back for the Arsenal and maybe lagging a bit?
No, I think Trevor. I think it's more that he's played right back when we haven't had a proper full complement. If he played right back with Saliba, Gabriel, and maybe Timber on there, and somebody good enough in the midfield to cover for him, I think it would have been absolutely fine. Let's talk about.
I think that's a good point that Jeff raises there, though, Ferg, as well. Is that the Twitter trolls get on his back? I think that's right. I think he has been the scapegoat for when we haven't won. He's just the easy option to go for, isn't he? Because he's out of position.
He's an easy option for other reasons as well by the away fans as well. But 74 minutes in, we didn't clear danger from a corner. When the second cross came back in, I think it was Nathan Collins put it down for Wisa. And Wisa, that's beer number 6. The already small beers. Wisa finished well with his back to goal. Andrew, talk to me about Wisa. Is he good enough to step up from Brentford to the likes and levels of Arsenal? Would you like to see him playing in our red and white rather than Brentford's red and white? What did you think about the defending for the goal?
No,
that's fine. Do you know what? I think he's a good player. Don't get me wrong, and I don't think he'd get an R11. No way, no way.
Never.
I think he'd
He
be
won't get
another
in
one of
our
those players.
21.
I don't know. I'd have him as someone to come on as an impact sub. I'd have him because I think he's if someone to come on at 75 minutes and to run at a right back, I think he's perfect for it. But not for me. He doesn't really displace anybody that's currently in our 11.
Andrew, I hope you're better at your full-time job than you are on this podcast at the minute, mate. Because that's a terrible. That's a sackable offence.
He's not. I
mate.
guarantee you,
Sackable
he's not.
offence.
I'm taking the mic.
I know you.
Look, Visser, right?
Why would you have
He's
him?
a crap player that got lucky and scored a goal, and then had the audacity. Thank you, everyone.
Great word.
To try and do the Miles Lewis Skelly celebration, and he even did that poorly.
Oh, I know he did that.
Yeah.
No, he messed that up completely. Messed
He
that up.
comes to Arsenal, I'm booing him.
Yeah. Okay. I suppose the last thing to
move on, I just want to say one thing, right? We are the Tabern Army. We sing now and then. We don't score one, but
Boys, we're going.
we beat them at home, man. We beat them away.
Away. Sorry.
We're off to Munich. Don't get in our way. We are the Tabern
So
Army.
we got 260 people who are watching this. Many of them on Hills.
How many?
260 people right now. 260, Trev. Watching this.
Yeah. Bugger.
In the afternoon. Many of who are following on Hillsy Twitter, you will have seen the Dad Burton Army. If you're on Twitter,
you've only come to see the Uzi.
If you're on Twitter, Trev, what's the Twitter handle for the Dad Burton Army?
Dad Burton Army.
So right, okay.
I ain't got my phone with me.
It's fine. At Dad Burton Army.
At Dad Burton Army, capital D, capital A, I think.
Yeah, join us. It's a parody, but not a parody. It's also a nod and respect to the young Ashburton Army who do a great job.
But listen, it's definitely a nod and respect to them boys. Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
So it's been a nod and respect to them, but we're not 17 and 21. We're all a mixture of ages and so on.
I'm 21.
And yeah,
that's what I tell the Scandi ones.
I know you do, and they believe you because you're only about like tall enough.
When they're scissoring.
But it's just move on. Listen, two final things. Jorginho went down. We played with 10 men for the last 10, 12 minutes of the game. I think he's done something to his ribs. I couldn't figure out what went on. But I think he got a ball in the chest, but I didn't see that being that hard. You're just like a 14-year-old right now, not a 21-year-old.
I know.
And then Saka's late run. He went round the keeper and he failed to score. But listen, it finished 1-1. Probably any title claims are totally blown to smithereens. It was like watching yesterday when West Ham got a goal back. It was like death by 1,000 cuts, Andrew, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it was like we were clinging onto that league title by the fingertips, weren't we? So, but we've got bigger things to go and win this Champions League. So let's go and do that instead.
So yeah, let's talk about Champions League quarterfinal, second leg, Arsenal v Real Madrid. We're going into this game. We're going into this game 3-0 up. 3-0. What a night that we had in the Emirates Stadium. It was the confirmation, the christening. It was. It was the confirmation, the christening.
We love you, Fergus, because you got ready. We love you, Fergus, because you're everywhere. We love you, Fergus. There
we go. At that Dad Burton Army. That's the one. So Yeah, listen, it was the
Andrew.
we, it was the christening of that stadium. Like we've said before, the Wenger built the stadium, and it was said by somebody. I don't claim the fame to say I've brought the phrase up, but Arteta turned the lights on, and my God, did he turn the lights on Wednesday night? Boys, talk to us about your plans for this evening. You are going to watch the other Madrid team. You're going to see Atletico Madrid take on Real. Is it? Jesus. Valadio?
Ferg, we've got a massive problem, son. We've got a massive problem, right? Because we've bought 3 tickets on StubHub, right? And they've got the names on. So one of us has got to be Pauline.
You could be Pauline.
This is now Claire McEwen, by the way.
There'll be a lot of scissoring going on tonight between Pauline and Claire, don't you think?
It will be, won't
Harry.
So you're going to the other side of Madrid. Looking forward to that, guys?
No. Can't get my head past Wednesday night. I'm going to go and I'm going to enjoy it. But if I'm really honest, we had a massive game at the Emirates last week that we performed superbly, and we're all saying it's the best performance at the Emirates, and I can't argue that. It was wonderful. But we've still got a job to do, and I can't get my head past. I'm going to go tonight. It's going to be a distraction, but I can't get my head past Wednesday night. Folks, we should win. We should be comfortable. We should score because Madrid have let a lot of goals in this season.
20.
By the end of the day, it's the Champions League, and you never know. So I just want it out of the way, Ferg. Done.
Honestly, so for me, mate, exactly that. Tonight it's a distraction because I was fine earlier in the week. The closer it's got, I've got more and more nervous again. And the emotion of Wednesday, honestly, I know we said it on the last podcast, but I was expectant of a win because I believe in what we do. I thought it'd be nicking it by a goal or maybe even 2, but to get a 3-0 lead was beyond my wildest expectations. And it's like, for me as a fan, it's not.
You can see on that photograph there that was beyond both our wildest expectations. Were the ones with the bulging eyes.
Honestly, mate, as a fan, that if you look back to when we last won a league title in 2004, I was only 13. So for me as a kid, I'd grown up with this Arsenal team that was a winning team, and although it was special, I don't think at 13 you really appreciate it. And I'd probably say since being a match-going fan, given FA Cup was during COVID, for me that was the biggest thing I've seen us do live.
Yeah,
and it hit me a little bit. I'm not going to lie, and it made me. Although I've always got belief and I'm always quite positive with what we're going to do, it hit home that, do you know what? I genuinely think we can do it, and just get through this leg.
Do you know what, Dan? You're exactly right, mate. You're exactly right. And from my perspective, on the same wavelength, talking as an older person, I've seen Arsenal win everything, right? And I'm desperate for us to win this Champions League. I will honestly cut right back on the games I go to because I've seen us win everything, right? So yeah, we're all on, but the city here in Madrid, right? We've only been here a few hours, but the whole city is talking about the game, right? You bump into Atletico fans, and they're Arsenal fans, you know.
It was nice.
They're Arsenal fans, unless they're Sheffield United fans. That's a story for another day, right? But then you bump into the Madrid fans, and they're trying to be upbeat, and they're bantering. They're not horrible. We're having a great time, but they know they've got a massive job on. This city is on a knife edge. It's full of tension, and it's wonderful. Wonderful. I'm so pleased we're here in Madrid.
Honestly, mate, I think this is more than even just the Champions League, and I say just the Champions League, and it's a huge thing that we've not done. This is potentially the future of this squad. This is potentially the future of players staying with us, the future of fans getting on Arteta's back or staying with him, and on top of that, it's already the bragging rights of fans coming at us saying you've never won a Champions League. It means so much. And honestly, we are, 4 games away from probably those players putting their names in history as the
Statues,
the first
statues.
evers to do that for our great
Yeah.
club. And we know we're a big club, but now it's about showing it on the European stage that we're a big club.
That'd be interesting.
Exactly.
The statue thing. That's a completely different argument because I think there's other people that would deserve statues as well. But if you won the Champions League, you would be the first ones in Europe. Go on.
Ferg, listen, right? I've been around long enough to remember a lot of European campaigns, not just Champions League, but Europa League and Cup Winners' Cup. And we have had good enough sides. Like 2004, we were good enough to win the Champions League. We were good enough. 2006, we got a goalkeeper sent off in the final. We were good enough. We were a better team. We were good enough to win. And we've always found a way to lose. In all my memory of the Arsenal, we've won a couple of European competitions, but we haven't lost to the better side. We found a way to lose somehow. And it's so frustrating. And I'm hoping that Mikel Arteta, the new kid on the block as a manager, although he's been there a few years now, he's not been last year, we know we got this far. But this is bigger now. We need to stop finding ways to lose these competitions and start finding ways to win because we're good enough and we are good enough. And I'm so excited about it. If we get Wednesday out of the way and we look forward and we think, wow, yeah. I know we shouldn't look ahead, but Villa or PSG, yeah, we can do that.
Hang on.
Just a quick point. Is it finding ways to lose or is it excuses? Because
no.
And the reason I say that, and I say this in a positive way, that one of the biggest things I like about this team right now is there's no excuses. That Arteta always comes out and says, whatever the injuries, whatever the situation, we are Arsenal. We have to be big enough as a club to deal with it. And right now, I think the way the squad has dealt with the number of injuries we've had to still be in the position we have,
I agree.
I think it's admirable that other teams wouldn't have dealt with it. In previous years, we've said about Lehmann's red card. You look at the 08 squad that played Man United and the injuries we had in defence, and we've always got a sob story. This year we've got that sob story, but they're not hanging on it. They're saying, "Do you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, Gabriel. It doesn't matter how it's out. We are the Arsenal."
It's a really good point because, and I'll come to you, Andrew, then afterwards. But it's a really good point because if you think about, we looked at last year when we made those mistakes against Bayern Munich, not to take the second leg back to Bayern Munich and to be in control of the game. The team, which is more or less the same team, has matured and stepped up and learned by those mistakes and really learned. And a convincing win 3-0 at home to go out to the Bernabeu is fantastic, Andrew.
Oh, no, it is. I mean, you look at, you said about players stepping up. I mean, look at me. We lost Saka. We were all like, thinking, what's going to happen here? And where he stepped up. We've lost Gabriel for the.
Sorry, is that Dan's going to empty his bag, by the way, just for official notice.
Gabriel's injured, done his hamstring. Who steps in? Kivior. Trev was like very quick to defend Kivior because everyone was jumping on his back saying that he wasn't going to do a job for us. But do you know what? He was one of the players of the game last week, Kivior. So I think one of the biggest things that this squad has learned is that when the chips are down and something goes wrong, is that we all have to unite together and start fighting together and make really people need to step up. And I think that's the big mentality swing that this squad has got, and what Arteta's brought in this year is that no matter what happens, we will find a way to make it work. And Trev's said it all the way along. We will find a way to win the Champions League. And it's like I can't wait. I mean, I'm going to be watching it from home and I'm going to be like buzzing to it. But I cannot wait for Wednesday night and what happens after that.
Trevor, Real Madrid finished 11th in the league phase. They knocked out Man City, winning 3-2 at Man City and 3-1 at home, 6-3 in aggregate. So they can score some goals. Head-to-head, Arsenal have won 2 and drawn 1. Arsenal have scored 4 goals against Real Madrid and yet to concede a goal against Real Madrid. And in the years of the tournament, both have won 8. In this year's tournament, both have won 8 and scored 28 goals.
Can I just say, Trev, I went in the toilet, mate. My Varroca's working. I've got luminous pee.
He just wiped his pissy finger on the face. I'm not
Trevor, just answer the question. Go on.
Well, you went on for about 15 minutes, Fergus.
I did. I was giving you some stats. All right.
Seconds.
Okay. We're unbeaten. We're unbeaten, and we haven't conceded a goal against Real Madrid. Take it from there.
Yeah. But he's leant back. When he's angry, when he's leant back, right? Yeah, listen, we're unbeaten again.
On show.
picture up.
His breasts are on show. Fergus Keating.
I
His
reckon-
breasts are on
We're
show.
all on show. Was on show.
I reckon he might have burst that shirt then when he ran back. You know that. I reckon there'll be big air vents up the side.
as well, isn't it?
Listen, right. Listen, I know we've not lost to Madrid. We should be confident. We should be really, really confident. But Madrid have this habit of finding a way to win the Champions League. You go in the trophy room at the Bernabeu, right? And they've got lines and lines and lines of Champions League trophies that they've won. Not because they've been the best team, but because they find a way. And they shouldn't find a way on Wednesday. I'm sure they won't find a way on Wednesday, but I can't get it out of the back of my head that I want it over with. You know, so they're not a good side. You're right, Ferg. They just about squeezed into qualification for the first round after the first league. Someone said to me the other day, I don't know if it's true, they've let in 60 odd goals this year,
They've
right?
conceded 20 in the Champions League.
Right?
Right, yeah.
So I'm telling you for nothing, if a team was letting 60 odd goals this year and they try and attack the Arsenal, we're going to score because they're going to leave a space and we're going to score. I'm confident about that. And if we score one, they won't score four.
Well,
But the reason we didn't want Villa though wasn't
back
it?
off that, and a question for you two, because I asked them these guys this question earlier. Off of what you just said about how they concede and if we attack them, etc., would you start with the exact same lineup as what we did in the home leg and press them high as we did, or would you drop off and maybe play a bit on the counter and maybe tweak the lineup with maybe Marino coming out and someone else coming in as someone on the counter? Like for me, I'm a little bit in between. Where do you start?
Don't answer the question. Let Andrew answer it, and I'll answer there.
Do you know what? Right, for me, if it's the Champions League team starts, it picks itself for Wednesday night. It's the same team that goes again. But the reason we didn't want Villa is because we knew that they'd sit back against us, and we're going to have to break them down, the same as what Brentford did to us on Saturday night. But the one thing that Madrid's going to do, they're going to have to come at us straight from the minute one. That is going to leave people open, and if all it takes is one of them throws from Raya again, the replica for Saturday, and then all of a sudden we're gone and we're Bray and we score. So I go again, and we just basically hit him.
Yeah, I'm with you, Andrew. I'd go strong to start off with. Madrid have only kept one clean sheet in the whole competition so far. Arsenal are second with 8. With 6, and Inter Milan with 8. So, out of all the games we've played, I think we've played 10 games in the competition. To keep 6 clean sheets is fantastic. We can score goals. We scored 28, but Madrid, as you said earlier, conceded 20 goals. I think. It's as many people say, like when you're playing lower opposition, and I'm not saying Real Madrid are, but in other competitions, if you're playing lower opposition, hear me out. When you if you're in the League Cup or in this quarterfinal or something like that, or in the FA Cup quarterfinal, you've got a big game coming up the weekend, and they come along. We start out with a weaker side, and then you bring on the big guns. I'd rather bring on the big guns for the first half hour, 45 minutes, and then change things up. We only need one goal, and this game is done. But I think the game is done and buried. But I think one goal.
I don't think we can talk about rotating and going weak up. By the way, I think that's very strong.
No. But you follow my sentiment.
No,
I honestly don't. And the reason I'll follow on with this, and same to you, Andrew, is that you just said about it only takes one event, a bit like Brentford when you're on the counter and Raya throws it long. But then you also said about starting with the same lineup, and the same lineup on the home game was very aggressive, very high pressing up the field. My question was, do you drop off? Do you sit in a low block, and do you play on the counter?
No.
So
no.
You've just said it only takes one event to play on the counter, but you've also said play like we did on Wednesday, and that's my question: is do we really go aggressive and press them high and try and get the goal, or do we give ground?
There's an interview that Partey did in the week, and some days he was asked, wasn't he, do Arsenal go and park the bus in Madrid? And his quote is, well, I don't think it's tricky. If we're confident with our game, we play our game. It's not going to be anything different.
Yeah.
And I completely agree with that. Completely agree. Because what I'm saying is, like, take the corner again. If Raya catches it straight out of the air, Saka, Martinelli, they're gone. And then if we can get the ball, I mean, even Declan Rice again, if he's through the middle and he can open his legs up and go, get the ball out wide, they're all going to be behind us because they're going to have all their centre-backs trying to get their head on everything. So let's just
Agree.
do what we do. We don't need to be changing anything for anybody. We play the Arsenal way and we play our way.
Agree. And listen, right, exactly, Andrew, exactly. But once again, talking from my perspective, as someone that's seen what we've been through, shut up. I know if we play like we are now, we will win this game. If we play like we have this season, we go through. I've got no doubt. And laugh at me, call me what you want, tell me I'm silly.
We do anyway.
I still worry in the back of my head that we find a way to lose these European games. We always have. You know what I mean? And it does worry me. I can't help it. It does worry me. I know in my
I
head.
think that's nerves talking,
this is-
Trev. I think
I
that's
did-
Yeah, of
nerves.
course it's nervous, Ferg. Of course it's nerves.
I think it's just
Listen,
a completely
I'll
different.
I'll say one thing quickly, right? And the reason why I disagree is in general, you're always wrong for Trev anyway. Listen, in general, right? Now I agree with the sentiment of being attacking and on the front foot, but the best team doesn't win the Champions League. The smartest team wins the Champions League. And as much as I'm not as old as you guys, I've been watching Champions League football for a number of years, and I know what it takes to win the Champions League. And you've seen worse teams win this Champions League.
Absolutely.
From being smart. And what I would say is, you look at, I'm going to give Man City as an example. When Pep first came into Man City, he changed their team, very front foot, attacking side, brilliant football, controlled the game. They still couldn't win it in Europe. And it took them a number of years to win it in Europe until they became a little bit more street smart. And I'm hoping that we just still keep our principles, still keep attacking, still keep on the front foot, but we're a little bit more smarter than just going a bit too more for saying, let's go and get the goal. I think we need to be street smart as a
Dan,
agree.
Dan, and I totally agree. And you don't even have to look very much further than our potential, if we get through this stage, our next stage opponents, which will more likely be PSG, the 3-1 up against Villa. They've got to go to Villa Park. It's unlikely that you haven't.
He's a dirty bomb.
I heard that. I thought it was a motorbike.
The latest news is, right, you may have heard it, but it stinks as well. It's not pleasant.
Just for anybody randomly,
for
anybody randomly tuning in, Dan and Trev are in. They're in Madrid. They've been on the beer all day. Myself and Andrew are back in the UK. I'm on a week's holiday, so I did preload before I came on here just to make sure.
I'm sending it out.
I'm always preloaded, ready to go. So yeah, no, but we're not going out to Madrid, unfortunately. But we had to put up with these guys. But it's great reliving the experience through you guys.
A wedding in May.
Yes, I do. I've got two.
A wedding in May.
I got two.
Listen, before you go on, right? I know you're thinking about moving on, so I want to draw you back here, right? Because you and Andrew haven't said yet. Dan and myself, Dan's been saying about what we need to do to win it. I've said about what worries me about history with Arsenal, like losing European competitions when we should win them. What do you boys think? Ferg, Andrew, what do you boys think? Are we going to win it?
I honestly believe we will get to Germany for the final. I'm not going to say whether I think we can win, whether we'll win it or not. I try to be positive, but internally I was like, if you go back to last Tuesday night, I honestly believe, and I didn't share it with you guys, I honestly believe we'd lose 1-0 at the Emirates to Real Madrid. And I thought
I knew you was a terrible fan of Fergus.
And I thought it was going to be really, really difficult out there. Now I think we'll probably get through. Then we got PSG, who we've beaten already, but PSG have improved, and then we'll get Barcelona, and Barcelona are fantastic. So, what do we need to do? We need everything to line up, the stars to line up, the gods to line up, and just get some luck. Just get some luck. And Manau, beer. Andrew, you.
We'll follow you everywhere.
It's so hard being the only sober one on this podcast. It really is. And
Well,
it's
I'm sober. I'm
You're so
sober.
great. Yeah.
Guns and Yellow Ribbons,
Look,
sponsored
we're gonna-
by Man.
Oh.
We don't get money from them. We're never going to get money.
Sponsored by Marbury and Scissors. We're gonna have to.
You had to bring it back there, didn't you?
You had to love it.
Trevor might have to go and empty his bag in a second.
We are the Blackburn Army. We sing now and then. We only score one, but we seldom score 10. We beat them at home and we'll beat them away. We're on to Munich, don't get in our way. We are the Blackburn Army. We sing now and then. We only score one, but we seldom score 10. We beat them at home and we'll beat them away. We're on to Munich.
So, Andrew, what did you think? They asked you a question. Do you want to answer it?
I'm going to try and answer this lot. So we'll go and beat. We're going to do Madrid. We're going to beat. I'm confident we're going to come out and the fact the Bernabeu will win. Mate, I tell you what. You, Gunning, have got something to explain for, because when he got back the other night,
good lad.
honestly, mate,
Donna's commenting.
Yeah, Donna's on.
Standing it. You made me do it.
Oh, you're in so much trouble.
Donna, it was all me. It was not Trev.
I've lost all my rhythm and flow now. I can't. Donna's commented. I'm
He's
gone.
back to
I've lost.
scissoring
There's
again.
no
He's
way
back-
I'm scissoring
he's back to
tonight.
the old scissoring again, isn't he?
Yeah, he is, mate. I hope she wasn't on when the scissoring comments were coming on with you two.
Yeah, and when you said you're going to be,
Ryan, you're in his room, mate.
well, he's Pauline tonight, isn't he? He's Pauline
He is
tonight.
Pauline, yeah.
I'm Rayana tonight.
So right, wait. Let me go around the table. Ferg, how far do we get in the Champions League?
We're lifting the trophy.
Right,
Andrew?
I'm going to answer it. So now, because you asked me, we're going to win it in the Bernabeu Wednesday night. We're going to go PSG. We're going to beat them. We'll do them at the Emirates as well. And then we're going to go and have Barcelona in the final. We're going to repay them for 2006, and we're going to beat them. We're going to lift the trophy.
Dan?
We're going to win. I'm going to cry.
Ryan?
We're winning.
We're all going to cry.
I'm going to be watching the final. We're going to Munich. We're on the way. How we get there, we don't know. How we get there, we don't care. All we know is we're on the way.
We're on the way.
You know what?
We're going to win it, right?
I was having Trevor. I was having a conversation
from Germany on
And Fergus coming.
on the 3rd of June, because we're going on holiday on the 4th. But then I'm stopping at Fergus's for 7 weeks while we celebrate in London.
That's fine.
We've
That's
won
fine.
it for the
That's
first time ever. Old Big Ears is coming to the Arsenal.
He's coming.
I'll be watching.
Fergus comes to the final.
I'll be watching the. No, I'm not, Ryan. I'm just about to say, Ryan. Ryan, I'll be watching on there.
Wait.
There's old cocky bollocks.
I'm asking Ferg, are you coming to the final if we get there?
No, I'm not, and you won't know anyway because you get too pissed too quick. Hello.
We are the Arsenal boys. We are the Arsenal boys. You're on top of the face here. What you like? We'll follow the Arsenal.
Hello.
One thing to bear in mind, and it was put in earlier: Party, Rice, Martinelli, and Timber all one booking away from not being able to attend or play in the semi-final, the first leg. Do you think that rule should be scrapped early on, Andrew?
I'm going to be honest. I thought it was scrapped. I thought they went back to 0 after Wednesday night.
No, unfortunately
they
not.
do.
Right. No, for the semi-final they don't. The final maybe.
As in, if they get booked on Wednesday, they miss the semi. But if they don't get booked, it gets written off.
Is it really?
Yeah. So they've written off the semi. Right. Okay.
That's what I thought.
It is a concern. It is a concern because you think about all it takes is if we get a referee that sort of goes against us a little bit and we end up sort of with a couple. I think the only one of them two I'd be worried about is Rice and Partey. I don't think Martinelli will get booked. I think he'll be fine unless he does something stupid. But for me, Rice is going to be breaking up the play in the middle. So all it takes is someone just a little bit of skill or for him to be a little bit late, and that could be a problem for us. But as we've done in the past, and as I've said earlier on, if it does happen, we'll find a way to find a solution, and we'll make it work.
Yeah,
Hmm.
brilliant. Yeah, Ferg, listen, I'm just going to do my bit here now, like I'm at home, right? People, how many we got watching, Ferg?
Only 364.
364 watching. Listen, right?
Fair
We are no better than any other podcast. We are no worse than any other podcast. But hopefully,
Drunk.
we bring you a different perspective, right? Yeah, we're drunk and we're Arsenal fans and we go to games, and hopefully that's what sets us not better or worse, but different to other podcasts. So 300 odd people, wow. Thank you very much for watching. I can't believe how many, Ferg? Say that again.
366 people. We would like, if you did go across onto our YouTube channel and like and subscribe us. It doesn't make a difference. We can't monetize it because I cocked up in the way I set it up, but it's just nice for us to have it. We'd really
Even
appreciate
better, by the way, because
your
what I'll
support.
say is we are Arsenal fans that love the club, that genuinely follow the club, and whether we win, whether we lose, we will not change the way we support our club.
Yeah.
And there
No.
are other platforms available, such as AFTV, that
He's-
Oh, don't
don't
start.
represent our club. Sorry, I didn't say that clearly. Wankers that don't represent our club, that are only out there for the money and for the clicks, and that they live off the
Yeah.
bad things that we have. Do you know what? Don't be one of those.
we don't make
Be-
a penny, do we? You know.
Be a fan
No,
in your own
cost
way
me.
that supports the club, and that's the main thing. Support
Yeah.
the club.
And at the end of the day, the work that our Fergus, I mean, he does my head in. He really does my head in, Fergus. I could bite his nose off sometimes. I really could. The bearded Irish twat. But at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, you have no idea of the work he puts in for so that the like of Andrew, Dan, and myself could come on here pissed. Not at you, Andrew. I'm sorry. Could
No,
come on
mate,
here
sorry,
He's
pissed.
at
mate.
work. You land him in the
I'm
shirt.
still, I'm still working. I'm
course.
still on the water, mate.
Trevor, I'm going to say one very.
Don't have a go at my phone.
No,
I'm
this-
ready. I'll
this
fall
is-
down with you if you have a go at my
Oh, I'll
phone.
never fall out with you. Listen, coming to this club from a youngster and meeting you lot has been, unfortunately, the best thing I've ever done. And it's a part of my life that I love, that I enjoy. Great friends, great club, and above all, loving the Arsenal. And don't forget, that's what it's all about. So all of this overreaction, all of this clickbait stuff that you see, that's not Arsenal. That's not football. That's not what it means to be a fan. What it means to be a fan is to build connections and to have memories in life that you enjoy and you can look back on and say, do you know
That-
what? I'm glad I was there.
Exactly.
We
And most
listen.
importantly-
Hang on. We got 2 or 3 minutes.
Dan, most importantly, Dan, it's not guns and yellow ribbons. It's not what we do. It's not what we're here for.
No,
It's not what we're here for. We're just
we're here
here
for-
to
Annoy Fergus.
annoy
Do you know what?
Fergus most of the time.
We're
But
up here
look
for
at him.
another 2 or
Look
3
at his
minutes.
beautiful bearded
Put-
chops,
Put
Dan. How could you not
your
love him, you
score
know what I mean?
predictions in for what you think tonight's game will be.
Well,
And as
hello there,
Henry
Fergus.
said,
I think that
it's
the score
good
on
job.
Wednesday night
I got a
might
whiskey
be a
in
little
here,
bit
yeah.
of a 1-1 draw, and Arsenal might go through in a 4-1 until they do. So they do.
Sure,
Right.
sure.
I tell you what, the one thing.
What I want to see, guys, next is inside this rejuvenated stadium.
Oh, shit stadium.
Wow. It shit all again. I want to hear that noise. The Ashburton Army, in association with the Dadburton Army, have asked for every away fan to wear red. Let's make sure. I wish the club could get on with that program as well.
I wish they'd told us before I flew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've got a red jumper, but I've got my yellow shirt because I love a yellow away day. But I wish they'd said that beforehand.
You know what? I'm
Yeah.
committed to the calls, I am, Dan. I'm committed to the calls. I'm going to sit in the sun all day tomorrow.
I'm going to take the hat off.
But Dan, when we were in when we went out to Seville the last time and we went via Madrid, You saw the old Bernabeu years ago, and then you have been and visited the new Bernabeu stadium. Just run through what did you get inside on the tour? Just run through it briefly, and then we'll go to a close.
We haven't been near it.
No, I didn't. I'll tell you what, though, when
Sorry to let you down,
I
mate.
first saw it, when did we play Atletico? So I come in for the semi-final for the Atletico game in, I think,
2017.
17 or 18.
So it looked like that then.
So
Dan,
yeah, at that point it was do you know what I mean? Not the same build, but it reminded me of the San Siro. It was a very much
very similar
concrete external old stadium, but you looked at it from the outside and thought, wow, very special stadium. And me and Alex walked past it last time and had a little walk around it, and it reminded me a little bit of like the Allianz, I guess, at the time, because that picture doesn't do it justice. It's lots of small little metal panels and a lot of building work going on, but it looked like the 1900s was transforming to the 21st century, and it was a great transformation.
Yeah.
I'm expecting that the roof on it will be a very, very big change, probably something we've not seen or heard before as fans. But as they say, rice cooks better with a lid on. So
yeah, I love that. Do you know what, though, Dan? I think we're on levels 5 and 6, 4,000 Arsenal fans. That roof's got to help us make a noise. It's got to help us make a noise.
4,000 fans travelling, and by the way, more would have come.
And
fantastic.
And as Dan just said, right, he absolutely nailed it. That Bernabeu roof is going to be shut tomorrow. Rice cooks better with the lid on. Yeah? Trevor. Come
I like that.
Oh, Gunners.
I love Trev.
Well,
I love Dan.
I agree with everything he says.
I don't agree with everything he says.
You can fuck off there.
And Andrew, thank you for your patience. I think I had some at some point.
Boring, Andrew. Boring, Andrew.
Where did that tagline come from? Mate, I tell you what.
We do. We love you, Theo. We do. We love you, Theo. We do.
And Andrew, we hate you.
Oh, that's harsh. That's harsh.
Said that, not me.
I had to talk to him about the train coming back, and I said to him, "Do you just remember what goes on at Arsenal stays at Arsenal?"
I don't know if any of you guys have seen that.
Listen, guys, the chase has already started, so we need to go.
Shut up, Fergus, you boring bastard.
Kevin, comment. It's not fair.
Yeah, but Kevin, it's not your fault. It's all Fergus's fault. It always is. But a bit like, I don't know if you've ever seen that Friends episode where they teach the kid new little tricks. I taught Theo a few little tricks on the weekend, and let's just say he's now pinching Andrew's nipples every now and again. Kicking him in the shin. Theo, do it for the Arsenal, son.
That was hilarious. So where we are, let's bring that photo. Oh, that photo's gone. Hang on, I'll bring it back up again. So we're in block 5, and Andrew and Theo are block
8.
Block 8 down by the front. And Andrew's taking this photograph from his end, and you can see Theo pops around the scenes at halftime, and we're all flipping the bird at Andrew. But before that, Dan's sitting there, and we're getting a wave. We're going, oh, we're having a chat, and it's a wave, and then also Dan just goes like that. And with that, Theo goes straight in and grabs his dad's nipples and just twitches. Theo. So,
that's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Guys,
are we about
an education.
Are we about finished now?
We're about done. Do you want a 15-minute like Trev time then? Do you?
All I want to say is like,
I want Trev time.
If you people watching 300 and odd, thank you for putting up with us. Right, me and Dan are absolutely shit-faced.
No,
we've had plenty of beer, but we're on an away trip in Madrid, so it doesn't matter. Win, lose or draw on Wednesday, we will win. Remember, we're the Arsenal. We've got, I know there's one or two about on social media that are complete and utter idiots. That'll scream at television screens if a player's not playing well, or things like that. But at the end of the day, 99.99% of us Arsenal fans, we're proper people. And I'm proud of our club, proud of our fans, proud of Andrew, proud of Fergus Keating. And I'm just about to get off air and scissor Daniel.
I'll film it. But on that note,
keep talking for a second. I'm looking for one photo, so you keep on talking. 1 second.
I don't know. I'm a little bit worried. I
Hang on a minute. How can you
what I was going to say. All
How
of a
can you
sudden,
go
I'm
from
covering backside.
How can you go from scissoring to I'm looking for a photo? That's a bit worrying, that Ferg.
Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
see,
it's not about. It's not a photo. Can't be a photo of us.
Fergus is that kind of guy. So I'm
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
Can't be a
I am.
photo of us.
Listen,
I-
I'll say one
So-
thing. As the saying goes, remember who you are and what you represent.
Yeah.
And we are the Arsenal. The Arsenal. The
Mm.
Arsenal. And do you know what we what
Never
else we are?
forget capital T.
Do you know what else we
Capital
are?
A.
Do you know what else we are?
We are the top of the army. We sing now and then. We don't score one, but we seldom score 10. We beat them at home and we'll beat them away. We're off to Munich, don't get in our way. We are the
Dapper
army. We sing now and then.
Oh yeah. Listen, there was one final
Yeah.
one final question, and the final
Oh,
question comes
question.
from our good friend of the show,
Where are we going?
Mojitos in the Irish bar.
Ali.
Alex. and following on, if you do have mojitos in the Irish bar on Seoul, as Dan said, remember who you are and who you represent.
Hey, fucking
He'll get 'em out. You
You know
we
will.
We're talking politics and taps and treble. Ole, ole. Ole, ole. Ole, ole, ole.
Right, that's
You know we will. We're talking politics and taps and treble. Ole, ole. Ole, ole.
you have been watching an Arsenal podcast live from Madrid in the UK by Arsenal fans for
I'm
Arsenal
not happy
fans.
with you.
I
I'm not happy
you
with you.
enjoyed
Keaton.
the
I
show.
sent you a lovely tanned picture of me this week, and you fucking shown that one. I'm not happy with you, Keaton. I'm not happy with you.
Let's find that. Let's find.
On fake tan. I spent 27 quid on fake tan, and you put that picture on. I'm not with you.
I can put the other one up. Give it a second. You know what was hilarious? He sent me this picture, which I'll show you in a second. 1 second.
Oh no, we
He
don't,
sent
we don't want to see it. We don't want to see it.
No. You'll want to scissor him after this.
It was sent to me. It's
He sent me this picture here. Look,
That's fucking. That's hotel.com fucking Photoshop. That's Photoshop to the fuck. He's got six pack there.
he was in Essex. You know, there's been queues around the corner for spray tan since.
Take
You
it
know,
off.
there's been a national shortage. Right.
Hang on.
On that note, you have been watching Guns and Yellow Ribbons, an Arsenal podcast by Arsenal fans for Arsenal fans. Thank you, Andrew. I've got
worries,
such
mate,
a
it's
fucking
been good.
headache. It's unreal.
Hang on. You're not thanking us.
Wait a minute.
I am about to thank you guys. Have a wonderful evening. Enjoy the football, and I look forward to the messages on the WhatsApp group. We will be back.
Third, I think we should go live tomorrow night before the game. Everyone, listen. We're going to go. Watch out for the advert on social media. Tomorrow night, we're going to go live. The night before we play Madrid. The night
hasn't
before
checked
the
that with my wife
biggest
yet.
night of Arsenal's history. Come on, Ferg. Line it up.
Right, up the Arsenal.
People.
Fuck the
300
Spurs.
people.
We're winning the Champions League.
Thanks for listening to Guns and Yellow Ribbons, an Arsenal podcast by Arsenal fans for Arsenal fans. Follow us on Facebook at Guns and Yellow Ribbons or Twitter at Guns and Ribbons. And remember to rate and review us too. Up the Arsenal.
I need a beer.
So risky.